There was a question, what stupid mistake do adults do the most? Well, I'm not sure if this is one of the most frequent mistakes they do, but, one of the most frequent mistakes a lot of adults do is actually having a child when they are not ready for that, when they are not emotionally and mentally mature, because they're gonna live the same stupid things that happened in their life, and they're gonna act as if the child is equally mature and equally developed mentally, emotionally, psychically as them. This is kind of a psychiatry issue, I would point it out as of me, because it's gonna lead to another child getting uselessly traumatized. And well, the problem is they're gonna end up most likely another deviant just like their parents. See, when your child does something bad, they're only getting creative with the few tools that they have. When a child does something, anything, they're just doing it so that they draw your attention. Psychology shows that if you put two mothers and you swap the children in between, or you put any number of mothers and you let their children play around, you can guess in time whose mother, whose child, and whose mother each one is. Because children, when they do things, they typically end up looking towards their parents because they're looking for validation, they're looking for signs of learning, because they are stuck in the idea of survival. They need your validation because they need to survive emotionally. You have to understand your child is nothing else but, let's say, that mobile phone that most likely you're stuck to, because their mirror neurons are fully on trying to replicate your behavior. So if you're not giving them attention and you're just stuck with your nose in your phone, that's what they're going to replicate, because the children, the first 4 or 5 years, their mirror neurons will be learning automatically, well, it's by instinct, everything that you're doing. When your child is doing wrong things and you're punishing them, it's like your brain is less developed than your child, because they're just getting creative with the little that they know. You have to remind yourself that they don't know what you know, they can't feel what you should be able to feel. Why simply punish them when you can simply be a bit proud of them? Who cares if they made your wall dirty? You can simply repaint it in the end. It's not, you don't have to do it instantly. And in the end, who's gonna laugh at it? It's like if people come around, just be proud that your child did that. Just give them a bit of validation, because other than that, what you gonna make out of your child? A worse version of you? You've been suffering your own childhood so long. You don't need to put it on the shoulders of your child. Because if you want to create a monster greater than you, well, you're free to do that. But you're gonna do humanity a disservice. Because for thousands of years, this is technically what's been going on. Every generation has been going through their parents and grandparents' stupid abuse, because everyone apparently, you know, miserable people will always be idiotic and try to exact some sort of punishment or vengeance on anyone else, because that's vengeance, right? That's misery. Misery simply wants you to suffer more, because if someone's miserable, they will want you to suffer more. So parents simply don't do anything else but then just try to ruin their child's um, day, because a child is young, they're defenseless, they can easily be picked on. And miserable people will always want to feel dominating. They will always want to be in control because they can't control shit in their life. But at least their child's life they can more or less control, right? And well, unfortunately, ruin. So one of the mistakes that a lot of people do in their young age is giving birth to children when they are not ready. Because, see, a child is not any kind of endeavor in life. A child means investing in a different life. They're not a toy, they're not something that you can have and discard. You're gonna have them staying around. If you simply can't raise a child, well, the worst you can do is just give them to a more loving family. It will hurt the child, yes, but in the end, I would say it's always much better for the child to be less traumatized. Because more traumatized children in this sick society is definitely not what this sick society needs. Because this sick society is just a conglomerate of, suffering people. Man, suffering people will always want to make others suffer more. It's been going on for thousands of generations. It should be called an honorable deed to not give birth to children nowadays, because everyone is doing that. All illiterate people are doing it. All miserable people are doing it. And look at the countries where there is such a great natality. The birth rates are huge. You have a huge amount of people. But unfortunately, where the masses are ignorant, they will always feel abandoned. They will always feel alone, because misery and ignorance, they both mean the same thing: loneliness. Because in ignorance, you don't want to learn anything. When you don't want to learn anything new, you don't want to do anything new with your life. Suffering will be your only guide. And also, suspicion will be like, your shadow. And when you're suspicious of everyone for any possible thing, you're not gonna socialize with anyone. So you're just gonna die of loneliness. That's a huge problem in the world. Because people simply embrace loneliness as a comfort zone, not forgetting that loneliness, if you don't know how to handle it, it's just like a black hole. Even if you know how to handle it, it's less of a black hole, up to none at all, depending on how aware and conscious you are, depending on how good you feel in your own skin. But when your mind is not listening to you, when your emotions all hurt because you're never doing the right thing that makes your body feel better, makes you more full of life instead of empty and devoid of life, and you're also treating your body like shit, well, you can't treat your body like shit and expect it to actually feel good. So, hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You're appreciated, take care, enjoy life, and well, this being said, Ferencan Board signing out.